Hey there. Welcome to the Gaia Daily for June 25th through 28th. I'm Adrienne Leese. How are you doing? Wow. We have got such powerful energies here over leading up this next week or two. A powerful turning point, a perfect storm. We are still feeling the intense energies of that Capricorn full moon. And today, the moon is in square to Chiron. And because that moon, the full moon happened at the very beginning of Aries or Capricorn, and that puts it into a square with Aries. And so now the moon and then the sun will come into a square with Chiron, speaking to the wounds over where we have given our power away. Venus and the sun in Cancer are having, Venus is directly opposite of Pluto, bringing up deep vulnerabilities, the same energy, pain over where we've been overpowered, where we've been beaten down by the man. This is a really important energy because until we stand up, humanity, we're not going to get anywhere. We are at the end of the road, and it all has to do with taking back our connection to our own autonomy, our life force, which is reflected in our immune system, our vitality. And it's this interesting energy of this disempowerment of like, they want you to give up. They want you to feel hopeless. They want you to get so discouraged with what's playing out in the world that you just throw up your hands and ignore it and continue to give away your power. But we're not going away that easily. And I am here to tell you that your connection to your vitality and your life force and the energies coming in of ascension energies right now that we can receive into our being and into our body, it is such a different resonant frequency, and you cannot touch that. The energies of control have nothing on the power of this vitality and this life force, and everything astrologically is pointing to this. But this Venus opposite Pluto, structures of power and control, is bringing up these vulnerabilities of feeling like, what's the point? You can never win. You might as well just give up, this like deep defeat. And that victimization energy, it's kind of like we have to go there and face that feeling before we can come back into empowerment and say, wait a minute, I'm not giving up. You don't win over me. And this is this energy, because Venus is in opposition with Pluto, and we'll feel that. It was exact yesterday. And so we'll feel that here for just this next couple of days. It's kind of coming off, but it's like then Venus moves over into Leo, and it's like she's coming, the feminine coming out of that low self-worth, out of that disempowered state, out of that insecurities, and standing up, maybe taking that vulnerability and being like, I'm not scared of you. And I don't care about your judgment anymore. I'm going to stand in my righteousness, and my vulnerability is my greatest strength. And then coming into Leo, and the feminine coming back into expression of her divine right. So much of this speaks to the empowered feminine, makes me think of free energy. So it's like humanity taking back their energy source, our personal source of energy, releasing from the matrix, releasing where we feed the matrix. That's through our lower vibrations and all those games and that disempowerment, right? Taking back our power is the same as the free energy, the technologies that have been hidden from us and kept from us deliberately, and this is a long-held agenda going back to Atlantean time, right? But there's this alien technology that's being used against us right now. It's in our cell phones. Nobody even questions, right? We know we have anti-gravity, and we have free energy, going back to what Nikola Tesla brought. And free energy is based on the feminine form of electricity, which is perpetual motion. The empowered feminine can continue to regenerate. Look at our Earth. She's showing us every day the magic in her cycles, continually regenerating. And we just shit all over her. And it's like, now it's time for it's like that, the power of the empathic soul, the empowerment of the sovereign autonomy, and recognizing that these energies and our connection to our life force is such a high resonant vibration. This vitality that's available for humanity. See, they're showing that, oh, we're poisoning you, sick, it's killing everybody. Eugenics program with this vax, depopulation agenda, right? But that's not what's actually happening. Humans are getting healthier and healthier by the moment as these energies come in and cleanse away and long-held ancestral disease patterns that can take years to unravel with, say, therapy and medicine and alternative medicine. So we're getting healthier. And that vitality, that sovereign vitality, just a few or one person or a few people resonating at that vibration is so much more powerful than a whole bunch of zombies. This is the whole deal. We just bought into the fact that the power structures are the power themselves, and that holds the power. And this is why this is so coming up right now, deep wounds over where we bought into all this bullshit. And we are the highest form of life here. Human in a body has access to God force, life force. We just got duped and tricked into thinking that we didn't, and that we couldn't handle it or something to fear. We were convinced that we couldn't take responsibility for our own power, our own intuitive power, going back to Atlantean time. But why would we even have it if we weren't here to use it? And this is this feeling growing. This is a sovereign star that is the Supernova Souls. Like, yeah, no more, right? Because if you are that highest level of existence, and now you know that, then, the next step is to say, I don't concede to these games. I'm no longer playing, right? And you can ask these incoming energies to flush and release the nanobot technology that's been infecting all of us, and to resonate beyond the ability for electromagnetic vibrations to mess with your field, and to protect yourself from the spike proteins and all of it. This is how we take back our power. And it's so profound because Venus making that shift over into Leo is catching up to Mars. So this next 2 weeks is so powerful because it's like Venus is catching up to Mars. They're going to have an exact conjunction in Leo. And this is saying that it's time to come out of the delusion of separation, out of the divide and conquer, back to the sacred marriage of divine union. That are the other side, the masculine and feminine, and kind of representing two sides of any argument, right? Whatever, all the ways we've been divided to fight against each other rather than seeing that we have a common enemy of these control energies, right? But this beautiful balance of the masculine and feminine, because this conjunction of Mars and Venus in Leo is about a full expression of both the masculine and the feminine. We've been taught that the feminine overpowers the masculine, and the feminine can manipulate the masculine, and the dark and the light and all that. It's just total bullshit. And this is exactly the paradigm we're moving into. The revolution of wealth out of the narcissistic agendas. The narcissistic agenda is based on the fact that we don't have our own source of energy, and we got to go get it from the people around us. Right? And it's like, no, we all have access, our divine right as sovereign souls and beings in a physical body. That's our power. So we are coming face to face with this big monster in the room, where humanity has to face the level to which we've been manipulated. And it's a hump. We got to get over this hump if we're going to get anywhere in our evolution. Now, so much of this story is playing out in the Saturn square Uranus. Saturn and Aquarius trying to figure out what are the rules and laws and how do we build a new energy. And then Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius and Taurus, saying, we can't do any of that until we have this revolution of wealth. Our true wealth is the abundance of our life force, our energy. Without that, you have nothing. And our true wealth is our gifts and skills so on the table with this Leo energy, this expression coming forward with our God self. That's how we get back to connection to source. That's how we get back to our spiritual service, because Venus is chasing down Mars, and Mars just made that inconjunct as it went into Leo, an inconjunct relationship with Jupiter at the beginning degrees of Pisces. And how interesting here, as we try to resolve this whole battle of sexes, divide and conquer bullshit separation agenda, right? It's like, because Mars went over this point when Jupiter made this transit, when Jupiter was direct. Now Jupiter's retrograde, and now Venus's turn. So an inconjunct with Jupiter at the beginning degrees of Pisces, Jupiter wants to expand. It just has got this amplification energy. Right there, it only made it to 2 degrees Pisces. It's about, how do we get back to connection? How do we get back to the cup of God? How do we get back to spiritual service? What in the heck are we even doing here? How did we get so disconnected from our knowing that we are God consciousness? And it says that the inconjunct is about an adjustment that needs to be made. And the adjustment that needs to be made is an expression of our God power, which is our gifts and skills, our creation, our co-creation, our life force. So we're looking at an expression of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and this perfect balance, because the cultures that represent this cup of God, the ancient cultures throughout time that held the magic here on earth, that held this connection to something greater, all were based in a perfect balance between masculine and feminine energies. Leadership of both men and women is a way to look at that. Holding the harmony and the balance. So it's like, we don't get to go forward if the masculine and feminine are out of balance, or if one isn't being expressed and the other is, or vice versa. Both the masculine and feminine have been cut at the knees, right? We've been demasculated and we've been disempowered. So it's really interesting, because last year was a play out of all these events. Venus retrograde in Gemini, taking the voice of the feminine, the silencing of the mysteries over these thousands of years. And Mars in his home sign of Aries retrograde. Like, we can't go anywhere without a connection to our life force. We're done. Humanity, we're done. If you want to be done, go ahead, submit to the AI protocol. Because they're going to use your organic life force and feed you some bullshit technology, technocratic energy. And so it's this crossroads and this massive hump. And it's like, in order to take back our sovereignty, we have to take back our sovereignty if we're going to evolve. And in order to take back our sovereignty, we have to face where we've been so manipulated by such evil, such monsters. And it's just so sickening, right? But here we are. We got to get over this hump. And it's really powerful, because Venus and Mars coming together in conjunction is a resolving of those retrograde energies last year, and a joyful celebration of more is more, right? So the feminine empowerment, and so the perfect balance between masculine and feminine requires a feminine empowerment coming out of the shadows, out of the shame, and back into that free energy, perpetual motion, the feminine form of electricity. And this is this regenerative ability. Now, when the masculine is supporting the feminine can create magic and abundance, right? More is more. We've been taught that one person shines. We've been caught in this mediocrity and this castration bullshit by the control energies, playing out manipulative propaganda games and financial tyranny and health tyranny. And that narcissist agenda, like, oh, well, if this whole message that if you shine, you're taking away light from somebody else. And the sun shines equally on all of us. and it never goes out. More is more. And this is the paradigm of the supernova soul groups coming together, right? Is that this is how you can tell it's soul group members, because they want to see you shine and you want to see them shine. And more is more. You express your God self, and that inspires me and more people, and more is more. Perpetual motion, the divine feminine back in her rightful throne, right? Not disempowered down in the gutter, called evil, such that she blamed for all the darkness. And so this is just this great redemption. It's a huge turning point. The first week of July has such powerful astrology, as we have that Sun square Chiron facing who we are when we're have given away our power, and the wounds and the victimhood, and who we are when we're connected to our life force, vibrating as the remedy. That vitality that is nothing can touch it, and so much more powerful. This is the long-held agenda, to just make sure you never come back into your own abundance and free energy. And the rest of humanity, they don't have a soul memory like you do, supernova souls, where you were in your power. And that's where we're at right now. It's this great revealing of the dark shadow coming into the light, and a great revealing of the abundance of the human soul, particularly the advanced human soul who's already gone through spiritual ascension. You've held on to your sovereignty. You've held on to your power. And everything is trying to keep you from vibrating at that frequency that's beyond all disease. But it's the only way we're going. And all the astrology is speaking to this, because Chiron is those wounds of where we gave up our life force and power, where we succumbed in order to survive. This is deep core issues for the supernova soul around your right to exist on Earth, because you felt massively attacked and rejected. And you had to play small and fit in. Do you have a right to exist here? Wait a minute. Didn't you bust your ass over lifetimes and evolutions to be here right now? What do you mean, do you have a right to exist? You are the gift that's like the light that's shining us through the darkest tunnel of this human evolutionary period. You are the wealth of this world. You have a soul memory of when you were more connected to your power. Nobody can take that from you. It can only get stronger. And now is a time to remember. So it's like a great reveal of the darkness, but it's also a great reveal of the incredible light and the incredible power that we have. And, this is the experience that happened on the Capricorn full moon activation yesterday, of like the power of just a few souls coming together and resonating at that purity, at that resonance of high frequency vibration that's not susceptible to the spike proteins, not susceptible to the electromagnetic attacks, not susceptible to the psychological attacks. Nothing can touch that. And what we were shown is how powerful that remedy is compared to like a whole bunch of zombies and darkness. Like, it's scary out there, right? Mind-controlled humanity and right? But this energy of that full expression of life force and the celebration. So this is what July is about, taking back our power through celebration, through empowerment, through expression of that divine masculine, divine feminine, coming back to this divine union, this compassion for each other, and that strength of will to stand and be seen as an empathic soul in your vulnerabilities, but seen with a backbone, like no more. Because once you fully know that you are the highest form of life in this experience, because you are connected still to your body, your soul, everything is trying to disconnect these souls from their bodies so that the dark forces can feed on that life force. But you're connected. You're not giving it up. And that is this sovereign power. So we can't really come into our full expression as supernova souls while we're loyal to these other energies. But once you fully realize that you are the highest life form, these entities that have been controlling us since Atlantean time, they're lower evolved from where you came from because you have this soul memory. Why would we ever want to give our power away? Because we didn't want to take responsibility for our power. And this is this energy. We're ready now to take responsibility. So you as supernova soul, you have been put through the fires. You have been purified. And so when you realize that there's nothing more powerful than you, right? Then you can say, I no longer concede. I'm no longer a part of your manipulative lower matrix. I now command and demand the removal of all implants and nanotechnology. I demand vibrant health because I know that's my birthright. And these energies are flooding in, ready to give it to you. But how can you come into your power and express your power while you're still loyal to those other energies? And this is what's working out right now. And that's that Venus opposite Pluto of the vulnerabilities, of going up against the man, of feeling like beaten down and everything working against you. And it's like, wait a minute. That's a story. I bought into it. Yeah, it sucked. Really bad Piscean age. Oof, persecution. But now I see you guys got nothing on me. Because you're resonating above and beyond. And this triumphant journey of Venus crossing over to Leo, joining Mars, catching up with Mars, and their exact conjunction is going to be at the middle of July. And at the same time, we'll have a beautiful trine with the Sun and Neptune, the Sun in Cancer, speaking to nurturing ourselves back into our power, compassion for humanity. They know not what they do. They have been so manipulated and deceived, but now is the time for the charade to come to an end. Now is the time to dream a new dream, And the Saturn square Uranus is so much about this revolution of wealth and worth and humanity feeling worthy. What if there is a new financial system? What if there is going to be this balancing of wealth and, debt reconciliation and like, hey, you guys have been in financial tyranny and taxes are illegal and they've been stealing from you and doing dark, dark things with your tax money, right? So what if there is new energies coming in for a more fair, more supportive, more abundant financial system? Do you deserve that? Are you ready for that? Like, are you worthy? Because it's a big change from struggling and to survive the way they've wanted to keep us, right? Here we are struggling to survive, right? We got to pay to play. We're going to put the electricity through the wires, so we all have to pay for it. When it's right here in our body, we literally could plug in our devices to our body if we were told about this technology. We got the power. Right? And so, but we cannot claim it back without our sovereignty, right? And this is everything that's going on. And that requires a revolution of wealth, which is for supernova souls, a revolution of self-worth. And you've been told that you are nothing and you have so much abundance. And how can you share that with the world when you're not willing to receive your own abundance and your own energy? This is such a turnaround moment, such a turnaround point where we can just drop all of that stories, the whole delusion of separation, see that everything out there is reflecting something that's ready to be moved inside of each of us. We all had to play a part. We all had to take on this darkness inside of our body to exist here on Earth. And now it's time to release it. And that's exactly what's happening naturally and organically with the light coming in. And here we have so much of humanity programmed in fear around disease. And what's actually happening is we're evolving beyond disease. And you have that soul memory. You have your solar cord. You have your will force. You made it here. nobody can take that from you. And now it's your time to shine, right? So these inconjuncts with Jupiter are saying spiritual service, connection to God's source, like coming back into this cup of God, this experience of spirit in our everyday life. That comes from our expression and co-creation, right? There's definitely this lower grid is like, no, you're not reaching up and talking to your guidance, right? It's like, oh, I got everything in my heart though. I don't need to go out there. The universe is in my heart. And this is the sacred heart chakra. We're like prying open the door, that safe. As an empath, sensitive soul, you've had to just protect, right? But this is this beautiful message of this exaltation of Venus coming into Leo and Mars in Leo, and then this conjunction. And it's that divine union, that sacred marriage within, empowerment of the feminine and the free energy. And because in order to come into our intuitive faculties, our heart is like it's like a secret, mysterious, technological energy right here in our body, right? But in order to open our heart, we have to heal these wounds between the masculine and the feminine, because we all have masculine and feminine within us. So we got to come back into this sacred union. And it's so hard because everything's just so divided and so attacking and so, but this union, this divine union, and maybe that soul memory of when you were more fully expressing your gifts and skills was also when you were in community with that perfect balance of divine union within and without expressed in your community, which was how you created peace and maintained peace and harmony. We got to get back to the garden. And how do we do that? Through full expression of our God self in the beautiful masculine archetype, empowered divine masculine, empowered divine feminine, back home on their throne, that sacred marriage. So it's just so profound. And the first week of July is so dynamic because Mercury is coming out of retrograde, and in that final square with Neptune, this is our opportunity to completely break down all the programming and escape the matrix or succumb to it more, right? But yeah, this is our pathway out. Mercury now direct is like rehashing. Gemini, where's the voice? Where's the empowerment? Where's the empowered leaders? The stage is set. We are ready. This place of the hump we're trying to get over is so uncomfortable, and we can't go backwards though. Like we got to push over this hump. Otherwise all is lost. Don't give up. They want you to feel like giving up. It's a very exhausting time right now. Take care of yourself, rest, because you are that, this Capricorn full moon. It's like that mountain goat, step by step. We're at the 1 yard line. You're not going to give up now. You made it this far. You didn't come to be a prisoner. You came to be in your full expression. And now you see that that's possible. And that's a resonant frequency beyond all of this garbage. And that resonant frequency is way more powerful. You got 2-3 souls resonating there, thousands of sheeple, and the dark confusion of mental mind control. That doesn't have any bearing. Doesn't have any weight. Everything's rearranging. And it's all pointing to you and your abundance in this revolution of wealth, because that's that Saturn square Uranus. Like we got to have a revolution of wealth and worth and our relationship to physicality in order to build in the new energies and move into the Aquarian age. Now we don't, though that's the backdrop energy, Saturn and Uranus, big planets. And we don't really feel those until our personal planets come in to contact with us. And so that's what's going on. And this started back in February. Really, we started feeling it in January. This square. And so now Mars is coming in Leo, will be making opposition. We're starting to feel that right now, in opposition with Saturn and square to Uranus. So a fixed T-square. And the fixed energies are about establishing something solid, trying to get this new paradigm going, right? And so see how powerful this is, because first Mars comes into this T-square, then Venus, and then Mars and Venus come together for this amazing celebratory conjunction mid-July. And so this is like, all right, you got to have that empowered masculine, you got to have that empowered feminine, and you got to have that sacred marriage. And we got to get over it and start coming back into compassionate love and care for each other. And that expression, these two suns, we've been taught this thing that the feminine's dark and the masculine's light, and the masculine overpowers the feminine's weak and manipulative and, shameful and all this. And it's like, oh God, and it's really interesting because most solar systems are binary, right? Meaning two suns. And it gives us a completely different picture of this perfect balance of divine union. Two suns, right? More is more. And in perfect balance, you shine, I shine, we all shine. More is more, free energy. We are the source of the universe. And now that we know that, we're not playing. And one by one, we pull back all of our energy from that lower matrix play, and it just collapses. Because it's not the power itself, it's a structure that was stealing our energy. It has no power of its own. So it's just an incredible turning point here. And we'll see if world events reflect this. Definitely the perfect storm for massive shifting change, great revealings, but also celebration of all the beautiful parts of being human and the strength of will, the expression of God's self, the beautiful regenerative magic of the feminine, all playing in the garden together. So really, really powerful. And there's something going on with the 7th of July because there's a big marker there, that Sun square Chiron. Who are we according to where we gave our power away? Wait, we gave our power away? A lot of times Supernova Souls, you've disconnected from this power I'm talking about. You're like, what the fuck is she talking about, right? But you've disconnected from it so much you don't even know you have it, right? So we got to figure out who we are with it. And can you handle yourself? And do you deserve it? Do you love yourself enough? Are you worthy? And so that the Sun square Chiron comes off on the 7th, and Mercury comes out of retrograde shadow on the 7th, and we'll be in that square with Neptune still for a couple more days. And whoa, and then the Saturn square Uranus is going to come off. There's 1 degree in square now, and they'll be coming off that 1 degree. So much is happening. That will also be as Mars comes out of the T square. So that it'll be a really interesting time. And it's like facing the darkness, bringing it into the light, but also celebrating our power. We take back our power by celebrating our power. We take back our God expression by expressing our God expression, our God connection by expressing our God expression. So anyway, and so then in the mid-July, we've got Venus Mars conjunction and Sun trine Venus. And it's like, okay, humanity, we got to make a move. Otherwise, we can fall back down the mountain. We got to make a move. We got to get over this hump. We got to face the darkness. We got to bring it into the light. And that's how we take our power back, right? And you are so abundant and so powerful, playing such an important role right now because you do have that soul memory. And there's past life pictures coming to the surface. So pay attention, be open to that. Uranus always brings information. So it's like Saturn and Aquarius is speaking to what's holding you back from Atlantean time. And so that could be revealed, that it might have played out in other lifetimes too, but it's kind of like this whole story where you said, I can't take responsibility for my power. Do you see how this is humanity's doing this right now? By just believing and not questioning and doing what they're told. It's like choosing fear over empowerment, and disconnecting from life force and saying, I can't take responsibility for my own power. And that's their prerogative, right? You don't get a choice. It's time to take responsibility for your own power, which means blooming as the star you are. It's so interesting that we're getting such a reveal of the Hollyweird distortions and all these so-called beautiful people that we've been taught to respect and honor and look up to. And it's just a facade. And underneath is a lot of dark, dark distortions. And it's like this energy of claiming our sovereignty, right? Because this is where we're stuck. Because until humanity understands the level that they've been controlled, how can they take back their power and sovereignty, right? Because they don't even realize that. And that's why this whole play has to play out. And then seeing these narcissist energies and this veneer of what's beauty and power and money and wealth, and it's crumbling, because they're puppets and there's nothing to back it up. This is the narcissist thing. The narcissist can't, their actions and words don't match up because there's nothing to back up. They're a veneer. They have a mask on. Oftentimes they're empathic as well, but they use that empathy to kind of take on your personality and reflect it back to you so you trust them. It's dark and nefarious, right? And then you're in that narcissist relationship, you wake up to that and you're like, how could this person actually, I can't believe that they actually wanted to deliberately cause me harm. I can't believe, I thought it was love, and this is where humanity's at with our controllers. We have to face the level we've been manipulated, and it sucks and it's gross and it's dirty. And the fact that we bought into it and we took part in it unknowingly. And those that are not even human souls, who knows, hybrid clones, whatever, but who knowingly and willingly took part in this agenda to kill a lot of humans and continue to steal our money for dark, evil acts, that's a whole different story, right? But anyway, here's the place we're at. But you never gave your power away fully. You never lost that silver cord. And now you are having a revolution of wealth, of your abundance. And it's time to, the main energy I'm feeling right now for Supernova Souls is like, okay, humanity, work your shit out. It's time for us to get to work. On with the healing, on with the recalibration, on with the new systems that can support us moving forward. This is exactly Saturn square Uranus. We got to get out of that sandbox and start creating in the new energies. And that's you coming forward as that sovereign star that you are, and resonating at that frequency that's beyond, and taking back all of your energy from the lower matrix. And so here we are, very powerful energies. I could go on and on about it, but I think you get the message. And so let's just stay in touch. So let's stay connected. I'll see you on the next update. Very crucial times. It's a perfect storm, super dynamic. Don't miss a moment. Pay attention. There's great revealings coming in. Those past life pictures, this what it is, your abundance, and releasing all of the resonance with the lower vibrational field. And we're doing it together. It's so powerful and it's so untouchable. You got this. We got this. They've got nothing on us. And it's game over, right? It's an exciting time to be alive, and excruciatingly painful to watch what's happening, but don't let it get you down, because that's not the truth. And the more we live in our truth, and we stand up in our righteous truth, and we stand up and in our power, the lies, the deceit cannot exist, cannot stay. We are at that crucial point. And God damn it, congratulations for making it. And thank you so much for sticking it through. Don't give up now. Keep breathing, keep loving. We got to find this compassion, come back to this divine union within. And we're doing it here together. So let's see what's around the corner. I look forward to seeing you on the next update. Have a wonderful weekend. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.